Abdeslam Ouaddou, the Orlando Pirates coach, said after they beat Chiba United that he's unaware of Mbekezeli Mbokazi leaving the club. He speaks of, this guy is part of my team. I have a group. I'm rotating. Mbokazi was on the stands when Pirates played in that downpour at Orlando Stadium. Everybody knows, everybody's talking about the fact that Mbokazi is set to go to the MLS, Chicago Fire, they say. Coach says he doesn't know. Is he telling the truth? Well, we'll see. This is Brad Jakes. Welcome to Inside SA Soccer on Omni Audio Africa. Yeah, the big talking point really is Mbokazi's purported move to the States. It's fascinating that, the coach would say what he said. But if you followed South African football, if you know what happens at Orlando Pirates, nothing ever gets said by anybody who works at the club before it has been officially said. So for Coach Ouaddou to say he doesn't know, it's just par for the course. I think we all know that it might happen. Is it a good move? I wonder. The MLS, a lot of you will remember what Coach Hugo Bruce said about the American League. He doesn't rate it in any way, and a lot of players who were said to be going there, who was there? Was it Tlongwane? He never really called him out, called him into the national team. Mbekezeli Mbokazi is a key player for Bafana Bafana. He is in the preliminary squad for the AFCON that's coming up in Morocco, and he's definitely going to make the team. But will he be moving there? And if he does move, is it going to cost him his place in the team? There's a school of thought that him going there would probably be throwing him into the deep end. Some people think. You think of it, this kid is, only one season into the PSL. He's still growing. He's grown up too fast for most people's view. I don't know. I think players, when opportunities come, they should take them. Be it in America, be it in Belgium, because what's the use of playing here at home if you are not going to test yourself somewhere else? But over the recent years, we've seen a lot of South African players who go overseas never really making it, and you wonder, will Mbokazi make it there? He's going to America. A league that's very different to a lot of leagues, actually, in the MLS. I was actually fascinated by the fact that just the other week, Coach Bradley Cannell was being celebrated, Coach of the Year. He had won with Philadelphia. And then the next week, he's playing in a playoff and he loses in the semi-final. Is he the champion? Is he not? So, I don't know. Mbekezeli Mbokazi can go to the States. Will he make it? I think he can make it. As a player, he has the abilities to play. He's a strong boy. It's a lot of times our players don't make it not because of playing abilities, but a lot of cultural differences. Mbokazi comes from KZN. He's a kid who only speaks Zulu. He'll go there. Will he make it in a country that's very foreign? I don't know, guys. Okay, so, over the years, we've seen South African players go overseas. A lot of them make it, some don't, a lot have not. In recent years, actually, we've just not had a lot of players making it, and, you wonder just why. But I think let's look at why they made it in the past. I, for one, come from that era where we had just a lot of players in England in particular. I remember going to visit Lucas Radebe when he was still young at Leeds. He was already captain at Leeds, but in those early years. And one of for me personally, I think a lot of the reasons those guys succeeded, it's the hunger. The generations are different. The older generations knew that hard work, you make it through hard work. Lucas Radebe goes there. It's cold. You're not used to the weather. You are far away from your people. It's a completely foreign land. But what always a player, Lucas was telling me at that time when I was there, that I knew that I wanted to become a somebody, and the only way to do it is here. I think lately you have kids who are already big stars. I'm not saying Lucas and them were not big stars when they went, but the current players, it's those things of comfort zones. Not Jabu Pule, what's that player's name? Steve Lukwelea, for example, was one of the first young players when we had the 1997 Africa Championships, and a lot of those players were being scouted. Steve was scouted by PSV Eindhoven, took him there. He got there and he found one. I remember Steve saying the language, they speak funny Afrikaans. They speak Dutch. He didn't understand. The place was cold and he wanted to come home. The club was prepared to let him stay on. They even offered to bring anybody he wanted, but he didn't. So the culture is almost always difficult. I don't think a lot of them don't make it because of their playing abilities. It's just because you're used to such comfort zones. Players are used to here at home being big stars. You go to a league where you are essentially a nobody. And it's just hard to cope. You are being celebrated all the time. Here at home, you walk in Southgate Mall, you are a gift. I mean, we traveled to, I think, 2005 Gold Cup with Stuart Baxter, and I remember we were sitting there, and the late Gift Leremi was saying to us, gents, it's boring here. You know, if I was at home, DJ Rico, go malling and all that. And this boy wanted to come home. And I remember him that week, it was the Vodacom Challenge. And the Vodacom Challenge is a big party out in Mabatu. And Gift actually called Orlando Pirates and asked to come back. So here it is, a guy who's in the States, in an international tournament, choosing to come home to play at a local tournament, and that's the challenge. So a lot of times I think it's exactly that our players here at home are fitted as huge superstars, and when they travel and go into different leagues, it's a struggle. We've had quite a few who made it because they decided, I'm going to wear Hoog clubs and forget about all the other things on the other side. I don't know Mbekezeli Mbokazi that well. He's a youngster who's just started out. A lot of comparisons have been made between him and OJ Mabizela, two kids who come from KZN, big defenders at Orlando Pirates. They wear the armband. We all know the stories of OJ. I think OJ would probably have became our biggest ever export. I think he probably would have even made it bigger than Lucas Radebe in England, just given the kind of start he had, but also the talent. He is way more talented than Lucas. A much, much better player. But the reason he didn't make it, it's off the field. OJ was very ill-disciplined. I, for one, I remember when he made his debut, he scored that goal when he scored for Tottenham, I think it was against Leicester. The very next, I think they scored at the weekend. I think the Wednesday, back then we didn't need visas, and I flew to England to go watch OJ. My brief was, you go there, you sit down with OJ and interview OJ. I went to Spurs, asked for an interview. I remember it was just 5 minutes after a training session. It was a very proud moment because all these young kids, back then there wasn't selfies, it was autographs. And all these youngsters, everybody wanted their autographs with OJ. There was Jamie Redknapp, there was Ledley King, but no, they wanted OJ. And he didn't give me the interview. He said, come later. I went to England I spent a week, and I never got to interview him because he was just full of shit, really. He didn't want to talk to me. But that's the problem, that the discipline issue often makes our players not make it. And I personally think we have a lot of talented players. Mbokazi will, if he goes to the States, I think just focus. I think the fortunate thing is going to a country where they speak English, because a lot of people will complain about language. Just stay focused. Look at what you are there for. You are there to play football and nothing else. Make a name for yourself. And yeah, I hear people are saying maybe he must wait and not go. Perhaps. But who says there's guarantee he's going to do well at the Nations Cup or the World Cup? You never know. I think also what we know, especially with clubs like Orlando Pirates, is that so much as there might be interest, it's up to the clubs. If the chairman feels they still want, or what's his name, Mbokazi, to stay, he'll stay. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity. Any kid who gets a chance to leave the PSL and go to a bigger league. Also think of it this way. A lot of these kids come from very, very poor families. So if there's an opportunity to make money for your family, why not take it? But we've seen some who got those opportunities. OJ, typical example, who go there and mess things up. So yeah, that's my view. That's my take on it. I don't know what yours is. Do you agree? Do you disagree? That's me. That's Prajak's view on this thing. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I see some of you have questions, so let's tackle those right now. Look, I mean, you are talking to a long time ago. The Major League Soccer was... This current one is fairly new, that started with Dr. Kumalo and them. But yes, way back, it used to call the North American Soccer League, way back in the, I think, early 80s. And we had a lot of players. I mean, like you said, Brajay went there, played with Jomo. He likes to tell everybody, actually, that, yeah, I played with Pelé. He did. The late Ace Ntwelengo went. He played there. I think he played for Toronto Blizzards. One of my favorite players, Andre Six Mabone Maseko, also played in the States. So that was in the 80s. And a lot of them would come and play here at home, take a break. When our league is on a break, they go and play in the States. So I think the thing that has a lot of South Africans looking down on the American league is because America is not known for their football. So everybody, when you think a guy is moving South Africa, especially the top players that we like, Mbekezeli Mbokazi is a big star that everybody likes, and there's going to be this feeling that, oh, why is he going to a small league? Because we all want them to go to England, but not everybody makes it there. And as we said, a lot of our players have gone to Europe and struggled. So I think for me, it's always about you as a player. If you go to whatever league, you go to Belgium, people might say it's a small league. Look at, for example, who's that kid who died in a car accident? Anele Ngonga. Anele Ngonga went to Belgium, made it big. Sibusiso Zuma is a legend in Denmark. Denmark is not one of the greatest leagues. So America, he goes, look guys, one of the things we need to always remember is that these people are human beings just like us. It's a job. If they're going to pay him in huge dollars that he's going to make, he goes. He can go there, shine. Cassius Mailula went to the States and we were all raving about him. You know, why not? Mbekezeli Mbokazi can go and make it big in America, create a status for himself if he wants to. But if he also needs to go make it to the bigger leagues, go to the States. It's a window, shop window really to the bigger leagues. You go there, you play, they see you marking Lionel Messi, you might just become, a big star. So I don't think, as South Africans in particular, we should be looking at, oh, this guy is going to a lower league. People go. There's a kid who just went to Simba now. He's going to be playing CAF Champions League football. So I think as South Africans over the years, and I blame apartheid for this. When we grew up, all we knew was Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, and anything else was small. I mean, this weekend Chiefs are playing Zamalek, and I'm reminded that way back in 1993, when we first played in continental football, there was this arrogance that it's Kaizer Chiefs, they're going to smash everybody, and Chiefs got knocked out because we didn't know what was happening. Now we know. Tanzania, small league, small country, but Simba, Yanga are in Champions League football every day. If you are a player, a South African player, and you play for Golden Arrows, and there's an opportunity to play for Yanga, I would say take it. I'm reminded Coach Mangoba had opportunities to go coach those clubs. He didn't take it, and I think he's probably kicking himself now, given what the likes of Fadlu Davids and Rulani are now doing. So I don't think we should look down on Mbokazi going to the US. If he gets to go, it's up to him to make it count. So that's my view. No, but so look, back then, they were trying to build it. All those guys, especially Pelé and them, were already almost retired. Beckenbauer and them, they were retired. It's what's happening in the Saudi league actually now. So what they were doing, they were trying to build football. Remember, soccer, as they call it in America, is not a big sport. It never has been. You've got your basketball and American football. But they were trying to build it up, and they were signing big names, and a lot of them were retired names. but it never really took off. For years, yeah, they played, but it never really took off. Now they've built this MLS. Even now, I don't know. It's just they've got Messi, but Messi, a very finished Messi, I'll say. So the big leagues are the big leagues. They are not playing in the UEFA Champions League. It's financially it's okay, but in terms of the football, I don't really watch it. I haven't watched it, so I'm not going to claim I know. But it's nowhere near the other big leagues, and often you see it when they are made. The United States go play it in big tournaments. They're just not there. So. Probably, but yeah, it could be. You could be right, and I suppose that's where Hugo Bruce was coming from. Hugo Bruce was saying, why do you go there to a league where you are not going to be properly challenged? The standard is probably not as high. That's why he was saying that. But I'm saying, and I get that, maybe that's true. But how old is this kid? Oh, they say he's 20. He's young, and maybe he should be going to a league where he will be tested. But he's getting an opportunity to go somewhere else where he's going to make good money. And he'll grow as a player if, I don't know. Yeah, it's a fascinating. You're testing me now. I don't know. It's up to him, really. So here's the thing. I think a lot of times it's also about you, the individual. What do you want? And where are you? In his career, yes, a lot of people, if he was to sit down with Hugo Bruce is going to tell him, don't go. Because think about it this way. You've had a Jaden Adams, for example, who moved from Stellies, where he was playing regularly and all that. He's gone to Sundowns. And according to Hugo Bruce believes, or he thinks, this boy left because of the money. And they do. A lot of us, it's so listen, guys. One of the things I find is people speak without asking the other people. So we all make personal decisions. Yes, it might be, in terms of football, Mbokazi might be taking a back step. But financially, he might be okay. He comes from the rural villages. As a black person, you know how it is. You go where you might make it. So football decision wise, it might not be the greatest, but a lot of people said when Mahou Nkota went to Saudi Arabia, some exactly similar things. What's the Saudi league? Yes, they've got your Ronaldo, your Benzemas, but people who are also at the tail end of their careers. But you go there, you do your best. I think it's all a lot of, it's personal. I mean, we'll talk about Coach Pizzo, for example, winning Champions League here with Sundowns. He goes to Al Ahly. Opportunities come, he goes to Saudi Arabia, makes lots and lots of money. He said it was a good league because he was competing, he says, with Ronaldo's and them. And then boom, he goes to Iran. Like, who goes to Iran? And he went there, and you know what happened. So I mean, I'm going to sit here and give views of things that I don't really know anything about, but I'm saying in terms of Mbokazi getting an opportunity to go play in a different league where maybe somebody, like I say, it's one match, Mebara, you go there, you do what he did against Nigeria, you close Lionel Messi, people are going to see you, and who knows? I'm not sure. I don't know. But if he does, then it's like the Red Bull, the team that Bradley used to coach. They had Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg in Austria. So they are partners. So there's all those little opportunities. And a lot of those, it's possible that it's true. And if that's the case, then Mbokazi must be thinking, okay. And also this kind of things you say in advance. I think one of the things that our players and their agents should be doing is exactly that, to say, listen, we are using this as a step. We've seen it. A lot of African players, when they come here, they are set in their mind, no, South Africa, I'm not coming to South Africa to stay. You are a conduit for me to go to Europe, because we know that your league gets seen better than our league in Ghana. Therefore, I'm coming to South Africa to go. So if you are an agent, I mean, the interview we had with Tando the other day, whether he was telling the truth or not, I don't know, but Tando said he went to, was it Sweden? And when he signed, he said to them, I want to go to the bigger leagues in Europe. And he said the reason he then left was because then there were calls from bigger leagues. And this club said, no, we want you here. And that's where the relationship ended. So it's all those. And I'm thinking, if it's true that Chicago Fire owner has some club or even a link to another club in Europe, then all the better for Mbokazi to go there, make your name for yourself, and the bigger club sees you, and then you just keep going. But okay.